Kalala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and the apostles who taught me this truth. This is your brother Dawad, the real brother beloved, and this is only for the
only for the elect.
Only for the elect. The reason you came around is because you thought we had the truth and that we was men of the Lord.
To maintain our engagement.
For military-grade assault weapons in Canada. We are banning 1,500 models and variants of these firearms by way of regulations. These weapons were designed for one purpose and one purpose only, to kill the largest number of people in the shortest amount of time. There is no use and no place for such weapons in Canada. For many families, including many Indigenous people, firearms are part of traditions passed down through generations, and the vast majority of gun owners use them safely, responsibly, and in accordance with the law, whether it be for work, sport shooting, for collecting, or for hunting. But you don't need an AR-15 to bring down a deer. So, effective immediately, it is no longer permitted to buy, sell, transport, import, or use military-grade assault weapons in this country.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Salutations to the brothers on the highways and hedges preaching this truth worldwide. Shalom to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Dawada.
So it would seem your Mayday emergency call has been answered. Another automatic weapon ban, signifying another attempt for the elites to cement its stronghold on you sheeple. When this thing goes down, the powers that shouldn't be are making sure the masses offer little resistance. Shalom Yasharallah. Who didn't see this coming? Mild-mannered Anglo-Saxon citizen loses mind and kills 20 people. Ban on 1,500 types of military-grade guns to follow. This same scenario has been playing out for a while now and really speaks to the global intentions of the 1% attempting to bring about the New World Order. And your next inclination is to hope things get back to normal. Not gonna happen. Then you say this plan doesn't exist, and I say this thing is going to happen whether you believe it or not. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 1, and it reads, Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Most High. Before Yahweh sets his plans in motion, he sends forth his word to his prophets to foretell his judgments. What we're witnessing now is Yahweh's words taking effect. Financial crisis, famines. You see the meat plants being closed down, farmers having to euthanize their livestock, wars, rumors of wars, like the gunships being readied against Iran, and the U.S.'s attempt to implement their own government official in Venezuela. The obvious motivation being oil and Venezuela's resources. Plagues and pestilences, obviously speaking of COVID-19 and whatever other scamdemic they have planned next. Verse 2, and cause them to be written in paper, meaning the Bible, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity, meaning let not the unbelief of them trouble thee, that speak against thee. And that speaks to you scoffers on the comment boards who deny this truth and mock the men of the Lord, mock the men dressed in their garb out on the highways and hedges preaching this truth. Yahweh says this, verse 4, For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword, meaning shootings and violence, like what you just seen happen in Scotia with this mild-mannered door-to-door gun salesman, which is pretty much what he was doing. Famine, death, and destruction. And why is Yahweh doing this? For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Right? And who's responsible for this wickedness? The elite, Esau, Edom, including the peons and you other nations, as well as you two-thirds who deny the Holy Scriptures and insist that these are not the prophecies of the Lord taking place. And their hurtful works are fulfilled. So they have this thing set up. This implementation of this microchip and this vaccination. As it says, their hurtful works are fulfilled. So they got this whole thing put together. They ready to put it into play now. When they really start pushing that microchip, we'll see how much of you believe in the integrity of your government leadership. Now, speaking to Salakia, speaking to the ambiguity of this new gun ban, did you hear anything about a law against exporting guns? Because I didn't. Right? This is Psalms chapter 94 verse 20, and it reads, Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which framest mischief by law? So this verse speaks to the corruption of government and how you can't expect them to have your welfare and social well-being in mind when they concoct these ordinances. Matter of fact, it's just the opposite. These laws, draconian in nature, are usually formed with the idea that you are in fact sheeple to be herded, and so any foreseeable resistance to these laws should be thwarted immediately, and which is exactly what you're seeing here with this newly devised gun ban. Scriptures say oppression maketh a wise man mad, meaning to rage. No different than what you're seeing with this civil unrest brewing in Michigan and in New York. This is Hosea chapter 10 verse 13, and it reads, Ye have plowed wickedness. The Hebrew for plowed is karash. It means devised. So you have devised wickedness. The ye is Esau, Edom. You know, Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Well, who rules the world? That's Esau, Edom. That's the so-called white man. He's the one who rules this world. So scriptures say again, ye have plowed wickedness, and ye have reaped iniquity. Meaning ye have harvested iniquity. Iniquity being evil, perverseness, unjust, unrighteousness, and wickedness. Ye have eaten the fruit of lies, because thou didst trust in thy way in the multitude of thy mighty men. So just as Eve was beguiled by the snake and believed that she had herself means and the power to move independently of God,
Salakia, Yahweh,
so did the elite, who trust in the strength of their laws and those who enforce them. And really this speaks to their trust in law enforcement, the alphabet agencies, and in a wider sense their military might. Verse 14, Therefore shall a tumult arise amongst thy people, and all thy fortresses shall be spoiled. So Yahweh says that the people will riot and respond in an uproar. As Shalman spoiled Beth-arbel in the day of battle, the mother was dashed in pieces upon her children. So ultimately no mercy will be shown to you, Esau, Edom, and you other nations that are in leadership, and the peons who mindlessly support you and follow you. Many will die. Esau's rulership and kingdom will be laid to waste. Despite what's going on at home, there still is a world war brewing on the horizon. Esau's wickedness at home and abroad will be recompensed. And this massacre that happened during the elite's 13th Satanic feast days was clearly a way for the feds, the elite meat puppets, to minimize the blowback for when the sheep do finally get tired of being herded and sent off to be stuck by needles and branded by microchips or slaughtered. More to come, Yasharallah. Jacob's trouble on the way. I'm going to keep this short, so in your spare time, I'll go over 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and, you know, great scripture to read in these times. In any event, I'm going to end off by saying, Kalal Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakak Kodash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and rule well. Salutations to you brothers teaching this truth, preaching this truth, on the highways and hedges worldwide, and salutation to you, hopeful elect. Shalom.
And what these people are doing. May 1st is the Beltane, which is a celebration of fertility, but it's also the Satanic New Year and the traditional celebration of spring. This also is a focus on a rebirth. The rebirth is a common theme that you hear throughout the occult and Satanism, the transformation and the rebirth.